A little boy has a message for the man who killed his father.
You really better know what's coming for you. We are gonna catch you.
The city of Detroit launches an appeal to the federal government saying that they believe they were undercounted in the census. They believe, they don't know for sure. This is a thought process. I'll explain.
But we begin with 6 days to go before Election Day. With record voter turnout expected, Governor Whitmer is pledging to make sure Michiganders and their votes are safe on Election Day. Good to have you with us for Local 4 News at 5. Record early voter turnout is leading some to believe we could also break records on Election Day itself.
Today, the governor, lieutenant governor, attorney general, and secretary of state all came together to talk about what we can expect in Michigan and what's being done to make sure your vote is counted. Consumer investigator Hank Winchester is live tonight. Hank, the early numbers are huge.
Kimberly, Devin, I think everybody is blown away, Democrats and Republicans, because you look at those numbers, more than 2.5 million Michiganders have already early voted. We're expecting huge numbers on Tuesday. And today the governor wants to speak directly to you. She wants you to know you'll be safe. We're already breaking records in Michigan. More than 2 million of you have voted early, and the clerks are still seeing big numbers daily across the state, people dropping off ballots in drop boxes. The governor and secretary of state are inspired by the big interest in the effort to make your voice heard.
Voters will be able to cast their ballot with confidence and know that your voice matters and will be heard.
Michigan voters are going to show the country that we overwhelmingly trust our election system and know that votes will count and voices will be heard.
Still, there are a number of concerns surrounding the election. Will there be enough workers? How will the pandemic affect turnout? What's being done to keep people safe from the virus and from any security threat? The governor believes the election will not only be safe but accurate. She encourages you to wear a mask and also to track your ballot online. President Trump, though, has gone after the governor and the secretary of state, saying he's concerned about the integrity of the election process here in Michigan. I asked the governor about his comments.
We respond with the facts. And, this is a group of leaders who are going to be undeterred from doing our jobs and making sure that we have an accurate count.
So far, the good news, clerks say they're prepared. Equipment is in place, and you, the voter, have all the information needed in order to vote. So what can you expect on Tuesday? If that's when you are planning to vote, you can expect long lines. Listen, a lot of people are going to be making their way to the polls on Tuesday, but social distancing will also be enforced this year. That makes things a little bit different. Poll workers will be wearing masks. You're also encouraged to wear one. Now, if you have any issues, either voting early or voting on Election Day, I want to hear from you. The Help Me Hank team is taking your calls and your tips. We are investigating any potential problems because we want to make sure that your voice is heard in November. We're live here tonight. Hank Winchester, help me.
Hey, Hank, before you go, we know there are a lot of concerns about voter security at the polls. What did the Attorney General have to say about that?
And she did speak out about it because today there's also a new legal challenge regarding open carry in the state of Michigan, and that has the Secretary of State and the AG concerned. The AG says that she believes everything's being done to keep people safe, but we have much more regarding her thoughts on that and what you can expect to see on the polls Tuesday. We'll have that for you new tonight at 6 o'clock.
Okay.
Kimberly, back to you.
We'll see you then, Hank. Thank you.
Both presidential campaigns are out west in Arizona, where Republicans are conceivably in danger of losing a reliably red stronghold. Alice Barr has the latest on the fight for every vote with less than a week to go. Alice.
Devin, Arizona is one of a handful of states that could tip the race. And in a sign of how tight it is there, President Trump is rallying in a rural area to make up for potential losses in the suburbs.
Battleground, Arizona in the spotlight today with President Trump and Joe Biden's running mate Kamala Harris, each making 2 appearances there today. President Trump won the state in 2016. Now polls show a tight race with a slight Biden advantage, and the president is fighting for every vote.
There's tremendous energy, and we've never seen enthusiasm like this.
Senator Harris meeting with business leaders before a drive-in rally in Tucson.
We've seen how women and small businesses have suffered in the midst of the COVID virus, but Joe and I are committed to supporting them and giving them more resources.
Biden voting early back in Delaware. He's off the trail but on message, getting a COVID briefing from health experts before laying out his plans to get the pandemic under control.
We'll let science drive our decisions. We will deal honestly with the American people, and we'll never, ever, ever quit.
It comes as the White House Science Office is taking heat for a press release that listed ending the COVID-19 pandemic as one of the president's top accomplishments, despite record surges now sweeping the country. A White House spokesperson calling the statement poorly worded.
We're certainly not getting ahead of it. We're still in the midst of the pandemic. We do say we're turning the corner.
The grim reality of the virus, contradicting the message the president wants to send 6 days before voting ends.
Tomorrow, the focus shifts to the country's biggest battleground state, Florida. President Trump and Joe Biden both holding events there before the president carries on to an evening rally in North Carolina. In Washington, Alice Barr, Local 4.
All right, Alice, another theme is emerging in the election, and that's Michigan still being very much a battleground state, with candidates and surrogates making stops here every day this week.
Yeah, and tonight it's Flint, where Vice President Mike Pence is set to hold a rally at Bishop Airport. Our Mara McDonald is there live with more. Hi, Mara.
Hi, Kimberly. Take a look behind me. You can see the setup for the VP here. This doesn't start until 7. You've already got people coming in here, and I'm guessing every seat is going to be taken. You know, I know what our polling says. I know what the New York Times polling says, which is that Biden is +8 in this state. Here's the thing. Neither of these campaigns is running as though that's the case. They are running as though this is a margin of error race. Trump himself is going to be in Michigan twice this week. If that gives you an idea of what the situation is here on the ground. We are live in Flint right now. We expect those remarks from the vice president tonight around 7 o'clock or so. See you back then.
Mara, and that's just the start. The campaign stops continue tomorrow as Dr. Jill Biden will visit Lansing and Westland. Also tomorrow, President Trump's daughter Tiffany will be in Birmingham, and his son Eric will be in Lansing and Granville. Then on Friday, the president will be holding a rally in Waterford Township. Then Saturday, Halloween, Joe Biden will be joined by President Obama for a still yet to be announced event. If you're counting, that makes 5 visits by presidential candidates or vice presidential candidates in just the past week in Michigan.
More grim news to report tonight when it comes to coronavirus. Today, the state reports 3,271 new confirmed cases in the past 24 hours. That's about 900 more new cases than yesterday. Along with that, the state reports 18 new deaths in the last day.
Bad day on Wall Street. COVID-19 cases continue to surge across the country and around the world, and the Dow dropped almost 1,000 points, 943 points down on the day. The S&P 500 dropping 3.5%, which is its 3rd straight loss. The index is on track for its biggest weekly fall since March. Well, after days of gray skies, it was so nice and refreshing to see the sun today and strong.
Beautiful, beautiful day. Now we're hoping it's going to stay for a while. Let's get over to Ben.
Yeah, Kim and Devin, this is what you ordered yesterday, wasn't it? Just like Amazon, one-day delivery, and it's on your doorstep. We saw plenty of sun out there. We're starting to get some high clouds. You can see the trees just look fantastic. Pure Michigan out there this evening and afternoon as well. Low 50s are our current temperatures, just enough of a wind to move things around. That's not all that bad. In our headlines, though, for the next several days, Zeta moving north. It's actually making landfall as we speak. We just got the 5 o'clock update in. We'll take a look at that coming up. Halloween's looking good, but better shot of rain, and it may not be all liquid on Sunday. More on your weekend changes in just a few minutes, guys.
Okay, Ben. Well, they say the process was deficient and haphazard, and now Mayor Duggan and Representative Rashida Tlaib say they're making plans to challenge the results of this year's census.
Yeah, today's announcement comes as low response rates plagued the city of Detroit throughout the process. Paula Tutman shows us why they believe the census got it wrong and what can be done to get it right.
We're here to ask for the help of the public.
Detroit Mayor Mike Duggan and Congressperson Rashida Tlaib laid the cards on the table.
We are very concerned that the Census Bureau did not make a good faith effort to count the number of people in the city of Detroit. And in anticipation of that, we're gathering facts to just prove whether it's true or it's not true.
There had been a back and forth that more time was needed to count the nation's population in the census, simply because of the hurdles posed by COVID-19. After an extension and a removal of that extension, instead of the count continuing through October 31st, it was abruptly ended on October 15th by the Supreme Court. And based on the preliminary numbers, it left the state of Michigan easily up to 10,000 households short, cost us at least one congressional seat, and shortchanges the state by as much as $30 million per year in federal funding for the next 10 years. Today, Mayor Duggan intonated it's dirty tricks by the feds that will hurt Detroiters.
And the truth of the matter is, they started later in Detroit, they understaffed Detroit, and they shut it down early for one reason. There appears to be a national strategy to undercount cities, and it appears to be hitting Detroit most effectively. Now, I may turn out to be wrong about this. When the actual count comes out, maybe it will be accurate. We don't know. Here's the difference. 10 years ago, when the city was undercounted, everybody was stunned. This time, we're not waiting. There is a legal process to challenge an undercount.
Plain English, the city of Detroit is entering into a lawsuit against the federal government to prove it counted Detroit properly. It is basically pre-challenging the Census Bureau into proving Detroit was properly counted and thereby forcing congressional oversight over the Bureau.
We do have a current administration that has already been given a number of subpoenas, a number of requests for evidence in regards to the census, because other communities are seeing the same exact thing, short changes, processes being implemented unfairly.
I think it's a pretty safe guess that the prevailing thought process is that if the feds got it wrong and the city of Detroit can prove that they were incorrect in their processes and their lack of diligence, then they'd be in a powerful position to hold them accountable and appeal to them to get it fixed. And if it turns out that they got it right, I think the prevailing thought is no harm, no foul. Paula Tutman, Local 4.
All right, Paula. Well, they were sick of scrappers targeting their church, so they did something about it.
New tonight, how church members managed to catch them in the act and hand them right over to police.
Also, could a common vitamin really help keep you from getting COVID-19? Dr. Frank McGeorge in with some eye-opening results from 2 studies.
But first, the son of a man shot and killed in Inkster has a message for his father's killer.
Take this trash bag. Take this trash bag. You want to know why I'm giving it to you? Because you're a piece of trash.
We'll have more from him when we come back.